Greetings and welcome back to Drassier TMD. My name is Drassier and you are watching Let's Play Space Engineers Survival. Oh, it's a gorgeous morning. It is in fact the dawn, so we are going to go ahead and get some stuff done today. I have some big plans. I am very high up, and for some reason some of my blocks came out green. Oh, in fact I know exactly why they came out green. In fact, I'll show you as soon as I figure out how to turn the crosshair back on. Okay, and away we go. Oh no! Whew. Okay. So, while I was messing around getting some things sorted out on the base in preparation for the mod which I've added, I was working on this. And you may or may not notice that it looks somewhat orcish. I've decided to name it the Orc. The reason this happened was because I was like, I need to colour the rover. Because right now it looks pretty bland, it's not really doing much, so I'll colour it. And my first thought was, I know, British Racing Green, because that's a thing. And this is as close as I could get in the standard colour palette. And then I was like, well, you know what? This looks like a weird kind of an underbite. And so if I put teeth right here and give it a go faster red stripe, it's basically an orc. Or an orc vehicle. Or a space engineer approximation of one. So that is what this is going to be called from now on. Since it no longer has its wings, it is going to be called the Orc. The Orc Scout. So that's part of what I was doing. The rest of what I was doing, you can see here I have a lot of extra piping going around, and that's to feed my 4-point defense system that I have going here. Now they may look inactive, but they are in fact loaded and ready to go, all set up and all that good stuff. I would have shown you the process, but honestly, how many times have you seen people build a Gatling turret? I just want to make sure of one thing, which is the inventory. Do the Gatling turrets? Yes, they do. Oh, that's all the magnesium and the nickel that's being refined as we speak. Lots and lots of it. So I'm going to have plenty of magnesium for bullets. Oh, something else I did, whoops, whilst you guys were all, asleep, is I added Izzy's inventory manager to this base as well. I added some lights to light things up, although of course the sun's coming out now, so it doesn't matter. Painted a few more things. Didn't get very far with it. I was mostly trying to shore up, the structure a little bit, just in case something comes by. And yes, I have in fact added a mod, the Modular Encounters Spawner, I think it's called, by Meredith and Lucas. Meredith, is it 9? I with an X? Yes, because 11 would be XI. So Meredith 9 and Lucas, who apparently are collaborating to, or have collaborated or something, to make this particular mod. And I've seen it work on other people's videos and stuff, but I've never actually tried it myself. Now, unfortunately, these spotlights, you can see, are having a bit of an issue because of the lighting. I'm actually going to go ahead and take these out because of that, because apparently spotlights are just no good for this sort of thing. I'll leave them on the Orc and use them when I'm moving about, but for bases, yeah, I'm just going to take them down and I'll add some strip lights, but they won't be necessary. Wow. They won't be necessary much longer because, of course, the sun's coming up. Added some more batteries, got some hydrogen tanks going, a lot more storage space. And this is all stuff that I was able to build from what I had accumulated out of this hole. The only thing I couldn't do was build metal grids, which I went back to go grab a few. In fact, how many of those do I still have here? Metal grids. I have 628, and the system wants to make more, but I don't have any cobalt. That's okay. I think that's about it for all the changes and stuff. Oh yeah, like I said, I shored up the area so this has an archway now. However, I have a plan in mind to do something different. When I say different, I mean basically rehash the rover idea, but this time I'm going to make a dedicated truck, an actual hauler that has a ton of unknown signal. I haven't got one of those in a while. I've got 3 tanks on me, so let's go! Off we go to the clear blue yonder, except it's sort of half blue, half darkness over there. With that is really pretty. I love space pictures. You know, the various Hubble images and stuff are just gorgeous. Some of those pictures. Ramble. Tell you what, I'll go grab this and I'll see you back at base. Whoa! That tree came out of nowhere. In fact, that's how I died the last time. Running headlong into a tree. Badger suit. Okay, and here we are back at base. Now this is quite possibly the ugliest base I've seen. It's got no flare, it's just pillars and power generation and guns, which has a sort of practicality to it, but yeah. So the reason I built these hydrogen tanks is I had a ton of ice that I wanted to get rid of, so I figured may as well turn it into hydrogen. This can be a sort of a refueling depot as well as a mining operation. So plans. Oh wow, that was a bit far up. Plans. This mining drill head rig has served its purpose. It's gone down as far as it will go. I don't need to go. In fact, I didn't even need to go as far as I did. I'll show you how far I ended up going. This is the magnesium layer right here, and down here. It's a good point actually. I don't know how far up. Oh goodness, how far up this is. It's about 123 meters to that thing. 118 to that one. So whatever. It's just pure rock down here. There's nothing to see, unless I wanted to make like an underground base or something, which would be fun. There's really no purpose to being this far down, but I wanted the resources, so you know, iron, nickel, and all that stuff. Of course, there's lots of nickel here, but whatever. So magnesium is the thing I want in particular. So what I was planning on doing is taking this entire drill head off, breaking it down, and rebuilding it so that I'd have basically where you can see the start of that one there. That would be the head of the drill. That would come back to about here, and then okay, fine, I'll go redo my energy in just a second. A piston about here. Unfortunately, I can't add 2. I was really hoping to, but because of how close it is, one more. If I wanted to add, there wouldn't be enough room for a pipe system. It would scrape against the wall, so it's going to have to be just one piston, the drill, and I'm probably going to put one on both sides. There'll be kind of this like weird middle thing with pipes coming back this way on this side, and then the piston will push out to the side as it's rotating, and what it'll do is it'll actually mine out all of this magnesium and all of this nickel. I probably don't need as much as is there. I think I could probably do without the nickel, for instance, because of how much stone there is. It's actually kind of ridiculous how much you get out of that. It's nice, don't get me wrong, for someone who's just kind of starting out, but it's kind of a lot. Yeah, so that's my plan for that. I wanted to build a truck, and hopefully we will spot something as part of the modular encounters as time goes on. I don't know what the timing is. I don't know how often things will show up. I don't know if I have to like move away from the area to spawn something, which I probably won't do until the sun comes up. So for now that I've rambled for long enough, I think I will take care of a few things, maybe kind of show you a few, you know, progression points, and then I'll get back to you then. I definitely am going to get rid of these because the flashing is driving me nuts. Bring me my grinder! Well, okay then. So now that we've got that all taken care of, let's start the building. Of course, I put everything that I had in my hand away. For this, I am going to need to spell correctly. Say 50 of the steel plate and 50. Gosh, I'm really bad. I cannot touch type, so I have to look at the keyboard, and my microphone is literally in my face right here. You can't see it, but it's right here. And yeah, kind of gets in my way for seeing the old number pad. So, what did we say we were going to do? Oh crud, I've already forgotten. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards. So that'll be, there was 3 coming out that way, so it's going to be 1, 2, and then a turn. So that would be 1, 2, and then a turn. Oh goodness, I hope I'm right, because otherwise I'm gonna be up Poop Creek without a paddle. So I decided arbitrarily that I was going to try and make my series a kind of a clean one, just so I wouldn't like alienate any particular audience by, you know, the whole "you can't watch that YouTuber, he says bad words" scenario. Ultimately, as far as my like personal opinion is concerned, words are just words. I think it really depends on the context in which you use them, who you use them on, and so on and so forth. But I know some people don't like it, so as a courtesy to them, so we can try and include everyone, I have decided to, as much as possible, not partake of the filthy language of the other people that you usually find on the internet. It's despicable. Absolutely disgusting. Seriously, I don't care. Not really. Okay, rambled long enough. What do I need? I need a lot of stuff. So you can see what I've done here, obviously. I've put the piping around here. There's the piston. There's the drill. It's going to spin around, and the drill's going to kind of go... And as it spins, it's going to extend outwards a little bit. Or I might just extend it by degrees. Let it go around for a pass, extend it outwards, bring it back in, drop it down a bit more. Although one pass, the size of the drills and the amount they actually drill out will probably get the majority of what's here. And here, maybe. Well, actually, it's kind of an angle here. It's hard to tell. Let's see. If I'm leveled out here, that's level right there. Drop down a bit. Not that one. Just the C button's fine. Try and keep it level while we're looking around. It's actually fairly horizontal for the most part. So, yeah. Anyway, so let me go ahead and weld this up, and we'll give it a test run. Loads of progress. Loads of progress. Steel plate and motors is the only thing I need left. I was actually planning on using a rotor and piston control system. What did I say? I said steel plate and motors. Let's do 50 motors should do it, and as much steel plate, hang on, as much steel plate as I can carry. Woohoo! Now we're cooking with gasoline. What was I saying? Something about a piston rotor control system. Yeah, so I just didn't get around to kind of looking into it much, but I may end up doing that for some later designs, because I have a lot of rotor and piston type stuff. No, I'll be right back. I just can't say no. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. Whoa! Come on now. Come on now. I was gonna try and get it before it lands. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, that I got it. Not yeah, because it's a leopard drill. Man, one day I might start getting things that are actually kind of cool. I got a fancy drill. Oh, speaking of fancy drills, I'm going to, once I get to the silver, which is over there, I've actually marked an area around there that I'm going to start drilling at some point. And once I do have the silver, as well as the medical bay, I will also be able to make some better drills, and welder and all that good stuff. Yep, I'm definitely a sucker for the unknown signals. Keen have me basically hooked under the nose for that one. Absolutely. Wrapped around the little finger of Keen. So, I just realized that, of course, with no lights at all, it looks pretty dingy over here. But let's not worry about that right now. That's considered an interior decorating thing, and we can do that off camera. So what I want to do is sink this down, and I'm going to go for the, as a test, since I can see it fairly clearly, I'm going to go down toward the the nickel first. Woo. Maybe one day I'll talk real good. Probably not though. Velocity. Let's make it a bit faster, 1. Because I'm just going down to see if I can even get there and not really drilling just yet. Oh, gotta make sure it's all connected too. So that's connected to the piston, through the pipes going up here. I did rearrange some of the pipes a little bit, so I want to make sure it's all good. I did take out the conveyor sorter because it would block this gun from getting anything, so that goes through there, down the main pipe and into the cargo system. We are good to go. So that's just 1. That's fully extended though, it's quite a ways down. I think I only need to do half next time, so let's do this one with a max distance of 5 for good measure. And let's do that one at 1. Ooh, almost. Okay, let's try that at 7.5. Oops, it's this one here. 7.5. It should continue down without having to retry it again. Very good. Would you say that that's in the middle? I think that's as good as we're going to get. So, I want to name these 2 pistons something different from all the rest. So, this is piston 2, kind of. But I'm going to call it piston drill head, because it's part of the drill head right there. Nice and easy to remember. Doesn't matter if they're 1 or 2, they're both going to be doing more or less the same thing. Piston drill head, and since we know which both of them are, let's go ahead and put them into a group. Drill head pistons. Okay, so those are ready to go. The drills are the only drills I have, so I don't need to worry about those so much. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Could have done it down there, I suppose, but safety first, he says, the guy who's fallen down that drill hole already like a bajillion times. Oh, I've already forgotten what I was doing. Drill. In fact, let's go ahead and put those back into a group. Why not? I wanted to have like buttons and stuff set up for this, but the thing is a lot of this is going to be basically one-time use and then dismantle. Though I do have another idea for a future drilling thing that I want to do, which I may not do for... We'll see. We'll see. I've marked it out already, but I might try something different. I was going to just build the same rig I've got and call it good. That's already saved. Excellent. Why did I even go out of there? Because I need this. Drills on. And they are drilling. Okay. So, those are drilling. I want the... Where is it? Oh, that's by itself. I was looking for a group, but it's not in a group. That I want to have spinning at a velocity of... What did we have it at before? Is it 0.3? Let's try 0.3 and see what happens. Yes, that should about do it. Okay, that's working. Now, I'm pretty sure we can handle pushing the pistons out a little bit, so let's find drill head pistons. Let's set their maximum distance something pretty low. Let's go for 0.5 just to begin with. And we're going to go ahead, say 0.5 extension time, good, and reverse. Okay. That's not bad. Now I am going to have to slow the rotor down as the pistons extend. As I mentioned before, the reason I didn't have the rotor head spinning too fast before is because the rotor itself is spinning at say 0.3 RPM, but the outside edges, they're spinning faster because it's extended. It's a physics thing, mathematics, whatever you want to call it. Trust me, that's exactly how it is. I'm sure most of you who are engineer-y type people anyway probably know that kind of stuff, and if you don't, you just learned something. You're welcome. Now, as I extend these outwards further, the head of the drill is effectively going to be spinning that much faster. I don't think it's going to be necessarily fast enough to cause a problem, but just in case it is, we're not going to speed it up too much. We're not going to increase the speed for sure. We may even have to slow it down. We'll just see how it goes. As I'm watching the drill, if I see it kind of juddering and, you know, catching on the edge of the... Speaking of the edge, living dangerously, if I see it catching, we can slow it down. I think they can take a bit of a beating. They've got, what was it, 300 steel plate in them? So they've got some room to take a bit of a punch to the face, shall we say. In fact, the drills seem to be doing a lot of the punching in the face. So that's good. We've already done a rotation effectively because we've got two drills working at once, so 180 is enough to do the business there. Then drill head pistons, let's go ahead and increase it. Max distance 1. See how that works out for us. Hopefully it's not too far. I think that's good. And so what I would do is I would actually set up an automatic system so that every revolution, and you can time how long that's going to be by how many rotations, 0.3 rotations per minute, you can figure out how much that's going to be and then just tell it to extend by 0.5. Wait for that amount of time and extend by 0.5. Again, I'm not going to do it now just because this is pretty much going to be a one and done thing. I can do this in my spare time. But I might set up a system like that to show you later on. Plus, I don't remember exactly how to do it, so I don't want to do it, live while I'm trying to record and everything. So it wouldn't be live while I'm recording. Now, the question is, that's only got the top of that. Should we drop it down or should we just do 2 passes? I'm just going to do 2 passes. While that's busy doing that, I am going to... What am I going to do? I'm going to start on the truck. The truck, I have a very clear picture in my head about what I want to do. We do not want a large landing gear because this is going to be a small. Maybe I should have built that out a bit more. Yeah. This way. Of course, I'm going to be right in the middle of this and some ship or other is going to turn up and try to kill me. So, I cannot remember where I saw it, but somebody had a truck that had a connector. Oh, I need to know how far up that is. So 1 block that's 5 blocks, so that's 3. I'm going to need to extend that up by 2. I'm trying to figure out how high that is. So, oh no, that's only 2 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And then I can put the connector back on there. Okay, so this is going to be the front of the vehicle. I want to be able to drive forward up to a connection point, and so that's how that's going to work. I'm going to put big wheels on this. I think I'll have to because let's see, 5x5, the mounting point will have to be probably here somewhere, down here. Ooh, this one might be a bit top heavy. Well, if it ends up being the Ford Explorer of hauling trucks, so be it. Now, I also want to use the industrial cockpit. It's one of the first things I have ever done that is part of the DLC pack. And look at that, it actually fits in a way that... Oh. Fits in a way that I can place it on there without it interfering too much with the connection doobry, what's it? The higgamajibble. The flibbity gibbet. Hee haw, hee haw. Okay, so the connection point is on the top and at the back. I don't actually need any oxygen. In fact, I don't even know why I put the... Oh, I put the H2O2 because I kept running out of hydrogen. Speaking of which, I am burning a lot of it right now. Gosh, I really want to test that to make sure I'm right about the... Let's try it. Let's try it. 4, up and drop. And then grab a couple of these. 1, 2, 3. And that's about a block's height. Yeah, because as far as I know, I'm pretty sure I'm right, each block, each large block is 5 by 5 by 5 small blocks. And so the connection... Oh no, it's got to be up one more. It's got to be up one more because it's 3 by 3. I'm glad I tested it because I would have gone that far and then I would have been savagely irritated that I got it wrong. So this is basically what I do. This is my building process. I try stuff out, figure it out, and hope for the best. I will test constantly because there's nothing worse than getting towards the end of a build and being like, oh man, this is the best thing I've ever made, and then discovering that you made a mistake, you know, a miscalculation. The worst. Okay, so I'm going to kind of flesh out a framework, and I'll be right with you. Sometimes I'm genuinely surprised by the way things work in Space Engineers. Okay, so putting this on top of here makes perfect sense because you've got that flat top area. There, again. There, okay, it's sloping down and away, therefore it wouldn't be possible except for here. Why is that? Why is that able to be placed there on effectively nothing? Your guess is as good as mine. But in order to hook that up, what we're going to do is we're going to this thing, we're going to put a spacer. I know there's a connection point in the middle here at the end, and then we're going to put on a medium cargo container and flip it around. Make sure we've got all the connection points actually linked up this time. Doofus. This guy. Okay, so what I decided to do is switch this around and have this at the top and have the cockpit quite low to the ground. A mistake, you might say? Maybe, but this way I'm still at the height that I want. So that's 1, 2, 4, no. No, I mean, there was supposed to be 6 anyway. Ugh, I'm messing myself up. I need 1 around the entire thing's clearance for where it will connect to the connector, and then 5 all the way down, which this is, so that works. Oh, unknown signals, why must you vex me? Seriously, stop it. I'm not even going to look at you. What? Oh gosh, I can't even remember what I was going to do. Ah, wheels. So as I said, they're going to be big wheels. They're not going to be here, but I'm just kind of making sure I know where I'm at. That's 3 up. I think if I place this, it's not going to create the wheel properly. So that doesn't fix there, which again makes sense, but it will there. I don't understand why that worked. Not that it matters because I would have, put the cargo container on, but some things just, they flabbergast me. Well, what do you know? That does work. However, it is going to be one. It's going to have to be 1 lower because that's the furthest extent of the wheels, and it needs to be higher than that. Therefore, I'm going to have to deal with the wheels not being there to begin with, and raise it up like I did with the other one, and then add the wheels after the fact. That's okay. We'll take care of that. Now, what I do want to do is to have a large grid, like a bunch of large grids on the back. This is, like I said, this is going to be a hauler, so let me fiddle around with that and see what I come up with. Now I know I have the small batteries to choose from, but it's been my habit to use these bigger ones for most of this sort of thing. Let's go ahead and plonk these up high or down low. Ooh, I kind of like that actually, the sort of stuck to the side look. Up here? No, let's do it down here. Yeah. and these will be the lowest extent of the car, so there's at least 2 blocks of clearance for any potential collision possibilities. So power, wheels, I know roughly where those are going to go. You know, I don't really like how high up those containers are going to be. I'm going to have to bring them down, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but I don't think it's going to... I don't think it can be any other way, because that's just going to look... not really about what it's going to look like, it's just going to be impractical. So let's go ahead and just drop it down a full set's worth, which would be one of these into one of these. Yeah, that's just how it's gonna have to work out. I love like cool big ships and blowing things out of the sky with awesome weapons, but sometimes just building stuff is a lot of fun. So front wheels will go about here. Okay, back wheels. You know, I ignored her last time and ended up not being able to see. I'm about to sneeze. Oh man. Nope, it's gone. Oh, nope. Ah, so distracting that I forgot where I was going. Now the question of the day is: should we make this a connector? A conveyor, or should we leave it as it is? Because a conveyor would give us more ports to work with, like so. But why I would need those exactly, I don't know. Alright, let's get these things raised up. Oh no. Oh, clang. Okay, so, just so you're aware, that was a complete and utter demonstration. I was just showing you what not to do. Don't extend the pistons and then grind the landing gear down. Oh man. Well, fortunately it survived, so that's good. Alright, I think we're about ready to add the wheels. Oh man, the sun is really almost up now. We haven't seen a single drone or anything since this has been on. Oh well. Okay, so, wheels. Wheels. We want to go to the wheel suspension. I really hope I put the left and the right sides on the right way. Add wheels. Yes. All of them have wheels now. Excellent. But now I don't know which one's the left and the right, so I'll have to deal with that later. I can just grind one down and figure it out. Okay, let's get the wheels sorted out. Maybe add a bit of an undercarriage like I have on the Orc to make sure it doesn't fall apart the first bump that it hits. And now, I'll be right back. Alright, we got ourselves some big beefy wheels. And not entirely enough. Let's see, motors and small steel tubes, motors, displays, and so on and so on. And there we go. I think we should call that a fully fledged. Still don't like that. And there's gaps. So there's bits and pieces I'm going to fill in with things like antenna, ore detector, maybe a beacon. No, it's not going to need it. Should we test her out? I want to test her out. Okay, so first we're going to take the pistons and actually going to put those into a group. Lifting pistons. Save. Then we're going to go ahead and reverse. Oh, we are on the ground, and we should really be, feels like she's going to be front heavy. I mean, not when it's full of ore, but right now, it just looks front heavy because of the... I like how low to the ground it is, though. Hopefully the center of mass should be pretty good. One thing I didn't do was set up the steering. Let me take care of that real quick. Should be good to go. Oh, there she goes. Oh, she's rolling. Ah, the steering angle is really bad for some reason. Because when we're stopped, it turns really well. But as soon as we get up to speed, it's like the steering angle kind of messes up. Oh, one thing I did not put on here, which I will need, I'm fairly certain before too long, is some gyroscopes, because once this thing gets some air, I'll need to try and keep her stable. Alright. Oh, I'm kind of happy with that. Oh, that's right. I need to set up the cockpit, not get out of the cockpit. That'll be in the G menu though, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Let's put that on 4 since that's where I'm used to it being. Handbrake on and off. On. Very good. So she won't go anywhere. I will definitely add some more batteries, probably back here. At least 2 there. Probably none there. And I do want to kind of flesh out some sort of framework. I might end up covering up those ports. Thinking of having a connector on the top. Maybe there? No, that may be too top heavy still. So in the middle here maybe, so that something can land on it if need be. In fact, I might even make it a bit of a flatbed on the top here. That would look kind of cool. And then perhaps a connector at the back here just for, you know, just because. One thing I did not realize is that this here, the side is a connector, but the bottom is not. I'm actually giving some thought to, and I know it's already a fairly wide machine, of actually bringing the wheels all out one, so that the framework is actually connected to it instead of being connected to the cargo containers, which tend to, if anything gets shot up, those tend to pop first, or get targeted first, and if these two both get destroyed, that's basically the back end. I suppose I could just build up a framework around it, and that could kind of fit in with the flatbed thing here, which would also kind of cover up this section right here. I'll give it some thought. It's going to be something like the Orc. Where is it? Like the Orc, it's going to be kind of a work in progress. This I wouldn't say the Orc. I wouldn't say that the Orc is done. I would say there's still some stuff I can do to this. But for right now, I'm happy with the way the Orc looks. But same with the hauler, which I've yet to name. Kind of makes me think of, oddly enough, the knife head from Pacific Rim, just with a big old thing sticking out of its. I guess we could call it the Rhino. Yeah, let's call it the Rhino. Let's go ahead and name the grid even. Rhino. It's kind of hot in these rhinos. Okay. And since I haven't actually done it yet, I'll go ahead and name the Orc. I'm really disappointed. I thought for sure I would get at least one fight, or at least a glimpse of something while I'm working. But I haven't seen a single thing. Not a single pirate. Or cargo vessel or anything. I just can't figure it out. I'll have to check the settings, make sure I didn't set it up wrong or something like that. Alright. The Orc and the Rhino. Oh, actually, well, no, I don't want to keep an Orc theme. I was going to say maybe the squig off, but I think I'll not do that. Ooh, time to extend the pistons out a bit more. Let's do that. Piston heads, 4, okay. Look at that. Still gathering stuff. And extending it out by 1 each time doesn't seem to be a problem, and it doesn't seem to be an issue with how long it's gotten so far. Cool, and we still got another 6 extensions. I don't know if it's 6 actual meters or if it's just a 6 units of something, but whatever, it's working out okay. Okay, so the truck is done. I've got a lot of the base kind of sorted out and drilling is continuing. What I will probably do off camera is I'll continue to drill. I'll probably work on the Rhino a little bit In fact, it might end up staying mostly grey. And there were some other things I wanted to do over with the gold and silver mine. I actually wanted to mine some gold and silver today, but I run out of time. I'll tell you what I did. I'm not going to go over there. I actually just put a ring around where I'm going to drill, like I did with here, and I was just going to set up another drill system here. Whoops, too far. But I think I will try something different this time. I'm not sure what yet, so that's partly why I also don't want to go drilling. However, we've pretty much run out of time. In fact, we may even be a little bit over time, or what I tend to want to do for time on this particular series. So let's not waste any more of it. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and like if you've enjoyed the episode. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the bell icon to make sure you get notified of new episodes. And then of course drop me some comments in the comments section, because it's nice to hear from people. I always like to hear what people have to say. I am not adverse to hearing flattery every now and then, or even if you just have something you need to tell me about that I've done wrong, or that you think I could improve on. I'm happy to get some constructive criticism. Just keep it friendly, that's all I ask. You guys all have a good one, and I'll see you on the other side.